Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Jag here. In today's class, we're going to continue with our Math 9 content. What we're going to cover today is just going to be the equation of a line, how to change and rewrite the equation from the standard form into the slope-intercept form. Then we're going to do a couple of questions on just like determining the x and y intercepts of the line and then graphing it out. All right, so with that, let's get started. Okay, so here we are. So I just put down equation of a line, okay? So let's try an example here. Okay, and so the question is saying to rewrite each equation. Let's put it here. So I'm going to put rewrite each equation. Okay, and it's going to be in the y equals mx plus b form. Okay, and so what we're going to do is I'm going to give you the equation here. And it's going to be in the standard form, okay? So say I have 2x plus y minus 6 equals to 0, okay? So this is my equation. I want to keep the y on one side, okay? So what you're going to do is we're going to take the 2x to the other side along with the negative 6, okay? So y equals, so when you take the 2x across the equal sign, change the sign, so I have negative 2x. Okay, and I notice on the left side here, it's negative 6. You take it to the other side, and it's going to become positive 6. So this is my equation here. It's in the y equals mx plus b form or the slope-intercept form. The reason that you are changing the standard equations into the slope-intercept form is so you can actually denote what the slope is right away. Okay, the slope in this case. So when you denote the slope with a small lowercase m, it's what's in front of the x. I see a negative 2. This is my slope. It's negative 2 or negative 2 over 1. Okay, remember the slope is just the ratio of the rise over the run. All right, and the other thing I can denote as well from this slope-intercept form is the y-intercept. The y-intercept here is equal to positive 6. All right, and that's all you're doing here. So maybe let's put A. And with that, let's try one more question. I'm going to put B here. Okay, so B is given as 3x plus 5y, okay, plus 15 equals to 0. All right, so this is my equation. So the same thing, wherever you see the y, I see 5y here. We're just going to keep it on one side. And then you're going to take the 3x to the other side, and it becomes negative 3x. And then you take the positive 15 to the other side as well. Make sure you're changing the sign as you go across the equal sign. And we're getting negative 15. Okay. And now, however, you can't just leave your answer like this. Okay. The slope-intercept form, or the y equals mx plus b, the y has to be by itself. So what we're going to do is divide each of these terms by 5. And I notice the 5 cancels out. Okay, and then we're basically just left with, so if it is a decimal, you're just going to leave it the same. So we're going to leave negative 3 over 5x. However, I see here I can do negative 15 divided by 5, which is negative 3. Okay, so this is my answer here. And again, I always just indicate what the slope is. The slope in this case is in front of the x, so I have negative 3 over 5. All right, and then the y-intercept, in this case, is equal to negative 3. Okay, and again, the reason we change it to the y equals mx plus b form, after you find the slope in the y-intercept, you notice that you can graph out this line right away because I have the rise as well as the run. Okay, all right, so with that, we're going to go to our next example. Let's try one question here. Okay, so what we're going to do is find, I'm going to find the x and y intercepts. Okay, and then after we find the x and y intercepts, we are going to graph. I'm going to graph the line. Okay, so let's try a simple example here. Okay, so everyone knows how to do it. So I'm going to put 3x minus 4y is equal to 12, okay? So what you're going to do is we're going to find first the x-intercept. And I always write it like this. So the x-intercept, you're going to make y equal to 0. Okay, if you make subheadings like this, you notice the teacher won't be able to take off any marks. Okay, so we're taking our original equation here. I'm going to sub in y equals 0. Okay, so we have 3x minus 4 times 0 equals 12. Okay, and in this case, the 4 times 0 is just 0. So I'm going to cross it out. We're left with 3x equals to 12. And then you're going to divide by 3 on both sides. And this 3 cancels out. So I notice x is equal to 4. So don't just leave it like this. I have to make sure I'm writing it as a point. It has to be a coordinate. So my x-intercept is actually 4 and 0. Okay, everyone's good there? So now we're going to go to the y-intercept. Let's write it on this side. For the y-intercept, you're going to substitute x as 0. Okay, before you do any substitutions, you should always just rewrite the original equation here. Okay, so there are no small mistakes. Okay, so this time we're going to substitute x equals 0. So what you're going to do is 3 times 0 minus 4y equals to 12. Okay, and again, I always write down in brackets x equals 0. Okay, so I know what I'm substituting in here. So 3 times 0 is equal to 0. Okay, what we're left with is negative 4y, which is equal to 12. Okay, and we're looking for the value of y, so we're going to just divide it by negative 4 on both sides. Okay, so when you divide by negative 4, I notice negative 4 divided by negative 4 is 1. And the y value is 12 divided by negative 4, which is negative 3. Okay, notice that the x-intercept is 4 and 0. Whereas the y-intercept, we substituted x as 0. So 0 and negative 3. Okay. Also recall that you only need actually 2 points or 2 coordinates to actually graph out the line. Okay. So we found our x and y intercepts, and we're going to make a quick sketch of the graph right here. So I'm just going to move it over. So when you're graphing out the line, what you're going to do is just graph out the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Okay, so the x-intercept here is going to be 4 and 0. And when you're graphing out the y-intercept, it's 0 and negative 3. So notice 0 and negative 3 is below here. Okay, and make sure you do label each of the points as you graph it out. So I have 4 and 0 and negative 3. Okay, I only need to have these 2 points here in order to graph my line. So make sure you're using a ruler here. Okay, we're going to make a straight line like this. And also when you graph out the line, make sure you do just state, okay, the equation of the line right beside it. Okay, so what we'll do is just write it down here. Okay, so I'm going to put y equals, maybe we'll just change this into our slope-intercept form. Okay, it's 3x minus 4y equals 12. So I'm just going to show this to you. Let's put negative 4y. We'll take the 3x to the other side. So negative 3x plus 12. Okay, in this case, notice that the 12 is already on the right side. So I don't need to change the sign here. Okay, you're going to divide everything by negative 4. Like this. And I see that the negative 4 cancels out. So what you're left with here is y equals 3 over 4x. Okay, there are 2 negative signs here, which becomes positive. And 12 divided by negative 4, so negative 3. Okay, and this is actually the equation, okay, I see in the slope-intercept form. And also, if you just want to kind of like check your answer and make sure you graphed it correctly, you notice that the actual slope is 3 over 4, which is positive. okay? Whenever your graph has a positive slope, it's actually just going to be going upwards this way. If the slope was negative, okay, your graph would be coming downwards like this way. And that's actually a really great mental check, okay, when you're graphing out the line. And I can see it's correct. My y-intercept is -3. And that's what we got here. Our y-intercept is -3. Okay? So this is just another way for you to actually graph out the line. You're finding the x and y intercepts, which is one method. Another method is just basically using the slope and the y-intercept here. And you can also graph out the line in that manner as well. All right? Okay, so that looks good. And if there are no questions, that does bring this video to an end. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see everyone in the next video. Thanks. Bye.